I'm on my own, against the wall. The pressure's building, but no, I will never fall. Instead of crying, they hear me roar. And now I see that I'm way better than before. I never needed you at all. Think I fall down? I'ma watch you fall down. I'm living large now. I never needed you at all. Think I fall down? I'ma watch you fall down. I'm living large now.
Logan, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Ryan? You doing all right?
I'm doing all right. You ready to talk a little Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship?
Let's do it on SmackDown.
Okay. All right. This is a WrestleMania rematch. At WrestleMania 39, I went 4 stars on this. Despite it being in a tough spot on the card on a loaded WrestleMania, it winded up being under the radar great. Since WrestleMania 39, Asuka has been mostly on house shows and was drafted to the SmackDown brand. Since WrestleMania 39, Bianca had a banger of a match at Backlash against Io Sky, and I actually went 4.5 stars on that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
On the May 12th edition of SmackDown, Bianca was set to have a championship celebration as she recently surpassed 400 days as the Raw Women's Champion, the longest reign in the modern era. The scene looked great with red carpet, orange and white balloons all along ringside. Without even speaking a word, Asuka's music hit and entered the ring with Belair. Asuka shook her hand and spit a blue/green mist into her face. Bianca dropped to her knees, selling the agony more than usual. It came out afterwards that Asuka had added ghost peppers and cayenne spices or whatever to the mist. Asuka leaves laughing. Last night on SmackDown, newly vicious Asuka would go on to defeat Zelina Vega via submission. She would continue on holding the hold all the way up to the post-match until Belair came out and made the save. With one SmackDown left, Logan, I don't suspect much to happen to really establish more to this match, but what's your overall vibes coming into this match?
Yeah, we might get a little brawl or something like that. But, it was great at WrestleMania. I thought it was really good. I'd probably go around what you went on it. But, yeah, it should be a really good match. I kind of feel like maybe this should have been the WrestleMania build instead of the Night of Champions build. But that's just another thing for a previous day, I guess. But, I think that was the only thing really missing from the WrestleMania match. They had a great match, and it was mostly built on respect before that. So, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's better that it has a little bit of flavor to it now. So I thought it was weird that they didn't even let Bianca talk in her little celebration. I figured she could get a few words in at least, but it made Asuka look like even more of an asshole, I guess.
Yeah, I think they went for the shock factor to kind of, you have the initial rude interruption, right? And then you go all in with the mist and then, doubling down on the heelish act to kind of establish her as a new heel. Do you feel like this new heel is the correct direction for Asuka?
Yeah, she needed a little something. I think the face paint and everything like that, it made her a little more different in the first place. So I felt like maybe she probably should have been heel already. Maybe, like I said before WrestleMania, she could have gone a little more heelish. But I think it's definitely a direction to go. Now, I also feel like Bianca is getting to the point where she probably needs to switch directions before too long.
All right, so let's put a bow on the Asuka turn. Well, maybe she felt like she losing at WrestleMania made her feel like she had to go into this bag of tricks and kind of add some depth to it. Maybe they weren't ready for Bianca to lose yet, wanting to do the whole 400 days in the modern era, beating Becky's record and so on and so forth. But they went out there, had a great match, and then Belair had 2 matches, including the WrestleMania matches, padded stats to her stellar resume. So I get what you're saying about maybe they should have done this at WrestleMania, but I'm not really mad if they do it here. But I kind of do feel, Logan, that Asuka perhaps may need to win. And that would lead into your last point of a Belair heel that you're kind of saying twist. You want to twist here in Belair? Would you suggest a heel change?
Yeah, maybe it's gradual. Maybe from here she kind of, she loses the belt like you're kind of saying, and it kind of makes her devolve into a worser part or worser version of herself or something. Like, I just feel like at this point she's held the title so long that she's almost unbeatable, and like she's also a good guy, so nobody really wants to see her beat. So maybe give her some heelish tendencies, and she maybe there's a hot baby face that comes up from below her and finally maybe takes it from her. But yeah, I think Asuka probably should win here, and I do think that they are kind of working this angle where I think the miss is a big part of it. At WrestleMania, she missed the miss, she ducked, and the miss went over. So maybe that's like the big factor that's going to change it, because it really seemed. I mean, Bianca sold the hell out of it, but it really seemed to affect her. So maybe if she can hit the miss, that'll be the deciding factor that she couldn't quite get in at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's that new evil mist.
Yeah,
On Ghost Pepper mist.
that ghost pepper and cayenne mixture that she put in there.
But she did sell a little more agony towards it. But all right,
Yeah.
so my next pivot here is Asuka. Say she goes on and beats her, right? Let's just go down that road a little bit. It's kind of easier to kind of do that little silly belt swap when you don't have the lineage of 400 days and so whatnot to go on and do that. So do they just rename the belts? Well, World Women's Champion, World Universal Champion, whatever. I don't know, whatever. Or do they just do the belt swap in a more, I guess, maybe kind of like how the Street Profits and the New Day did it backstage, where it was just kind of cute, opposed to Becky and Charlotte going out there and like having like a shoot throw at each other kind of thing.
Yeah, I definitely don't think they should make it a big segment in the ring. Just have it a little belt swap in the back. But I honestly hope they don't do the belt swap. I hope they come out with either maybe new belts and rename them or something like that, because we can't keep doing this every draft, because every time the women's champions seem to switch brands. So we can't keep doing this or the tag champions or whatever you want to say. I mean, you can easily switch the US and IC because you don't have to rename them, and they're not the SmackDown US champion or something like that. So I think it's time to rename them, give them like a women's world and a women's universal or something to that effect. But yeah, I think that's the way they should go. Whether they do go that way is a different ball game.
When I did the Io Sky match with Rossi, we opened up a pack of cards, and there wasn't really much of a build, and there wasn't really much structure to the story or whatever. It was just like, we're presenting this awesome match, and it lived up to the hype. Here, it's like, all right, there's got some character work going on here. There's got a little history here, and this is 2 pivot points within characters. Which one are they going to invest in right now? Are you anticipating this match to be good? Where are you at with all that?
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to not believe that it can be good to great. Even they just fought each other at WrestleMania, and it was really good. So I have I don't have super duper like all time expectations, I guess, but I know it's going to be at least good to great, because I just know that these 2 girls are women, I guess, are that they're just really really talented individuals, and I think that they can put on a good match with. Pretty much
it's not going to be under the radar. Coming off of the Io match, the stakes are much higher. But all right, where would you put this match on the card, Logan?
I'd probably put it somewhere in the middle. Definitely, obviously not main event. I don't think I would open with this necessarily, because I don't think it has that vibe per se. But I definitely would kind of slide it somewhere in the middle of the card. All
right, here's the moment of truth. Who's winning?
I think Bianca will win. I could see a direction where Asuka does win. She finally hits the mist, and that's the kind of finishing move that she didn't get at WrestleMania. But I don't know. I just don't see him taking him off Bianca at this point. I feel like they really need to build someone to do that.
Yeah, I just feel like Asuka's dead in the water if she loses again, especially doubling down on the new character in the heel direction. I would put my fake bet money on Asuka. But I would put, if I really had to put my money down, it would probably be Belair to keep down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it has been a build, and there is a little bit of a rivalry here, but I just feel like she's held the belt for so long that there needs to be more of a like long told kind of thing to finally take the belt off of her. But if she wins it by nefarious means, that's just how it happens.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Logan. Well, that's it for this time, buddy. Thank you very much for jumping on here and talking Asuka versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title.
Appreciate it, Ryan.